A return to conflict must be avoided at all costs. The remaining deceased hostages must be released without any further delay. Humanitarian assistance must enter the street at scale to meet the enormous need of the population wherever they are. All parties must abide by their commitments under the deal, and agreements should be reached to implement the next phase. To fully meet our targets and ensure an effective response requires more crossings and functional relief corridors, safe passage for aid workers and civilians, unrestricted entry of goods, sustained entry of fuel, and operational space for the UN and NGOs, including renewal of NGO registration, all in accordance with humanitarian principles. Reconstruction will require a collective effort and should be Palestinian-led. Working with Palestinian Authority, international partners, civil society, and the private sector, UN is prepared to mobilize and help coordinate these efforts in line with the ceasefire commitments and the New York Declaration, and building on the Arab Plan for Recovery and Reconstruction. The United Nations will continue to support all efforts to end the occupation and resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in line with international law and UN resolution, realizing a two-state solution, Israel and Palestine, of which Gaza is an integral part, live side by side in peace and security within secure and recognized borders on the basis of the pre-1967 lines with Jerusalem as the capital of both states.
Our role is to collectively work to ensure the ceasefire holds, prevailing over those rooting for its collapse or working to make it fall apart. And we appreciate on that context, the collective efforts to ensure this aim and the constant engagement of the mediators of Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey, and of course the United States at the highest level, to preserve this delicate ceasefire, to save lives that are too sacred. There is no Israeli security at the expense of Palestinian lives and Palestinian rights. There's no coexistence with occupation and subjugation. There is freedom for Palestine and its people, and shared peace, shared security, shared prosperity for Palestinians, Israelis, the people of the region, and the world. Just peace will change the face of the region and the fate of its peoples. The independence of the State of Palestine and the implementation of the two-state solution will pave the way for regional integration, a prospect many thought and still think impossible, but that is within grasp if we collectively decide to rid the region of wars and occupation and finally choose shared peace, shared security, and shared prosperity. The United States is a superpower, and as such, it has always a choice to fuel the fire or to help cease the fire. In this case, President Trump used all his weight to achieve a ceasefire agreement that saves lives and that releases the hostages. We all listened to the chants on Hostages Square in Tel Aviv. They know there would be no agreement without President Trump. What we need is not a pause in the violence.
Despite the pressure of many members of this very council, despite the political theater, the condemnations, and the hypocrisy, Israel stood firm. We did not waver. We prevailed. Let me be clear. Our fallen hostages will be brought home by diplomacy, if possible, by other means, if necessary. Peace cannot coexist with terror. The peace plan before us is an opportunity. But opportunity alone is not enough. We must act now to ensure Hamas is disarmed, not only with statements, with action, with pressure, with resolve.
The president is not playing games here. And simply put, Hamas is finished in Gaza and does not have a future there. And if they do not follow through, they are in violation of the ceasefire and will face consequences, severe consequences. The future of Gaza can be one of peace and prosperity. As President Trump, as Vice President Vance, as Secretary Rubio and the team work tirelessly to bring peace to the region, the ICJ just issued a nakedly political, but fortunately non-binding, advisory opinion, unfairly bashing Israel and giving UNRWA a free pass for its deep entanglement with Hamas's terrorism.
The ICJ decision was a shameful decision. It was a political document, not a legal document. We know how it started, we know how it will end. It will end when it will come to the General Assembly, but they chose to ignore the facts. Take, for example, UNRWA. UNRWA was infiltrated by Hamas for years, even before October 7th, and they ignored those facts. We have proved that UNRWA employees entered Israel and took part during October 7th massacre. The court chose to ignore those facts, and we will not work with agencies that are controlled by terrorists. Well, we said it very clear. We have nothing against Yemen. We have no conflict with Yemen, and unfortunately, this radical regime attacks Israel, and we will retaliate. And we have shown our capabilities. So we hope that they will understand that, we have no interest in any fight or conflict with the Houthis. But if they will continue to attack Israel, they will find the might of the IDF.